Well, Alf, I think it's safe to say that the National Sports Card Collectors Convention out in Chicago, Rosemont, is going to be absolutely bananas this year.
You take the card and put it in the sleeve.
And even though we are facing some economic turmoil here in the US and abroad, I think that a lot of people are going to lock in and stay the course and go to this show and maybe cut corners elsewhere. And the reason why is going to be simple. We're going to talk through a lot of that in today's video. Stick around. What's going on, sports card hobby family? Another day, another sports card video. Still fluing a little bit. I'm on the back end of the flu. I've got to really pull it together. Just keep the thing going. We've got Off Center tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern with Flippin' Steve, Neo Cards and Comics, Michael Ham. We're going to talk about kind of all the goings-ons. We'll go with it, in the hobby. And so make sure to join us there. We'll stream on all 4 channels, so you can join on whichever one you want. Huge sponsor vendor at the National is today's video sponsor, Pristine Auction. The one thing I really love about Pristine, and if I look at their impact, kind of the overall impact on the hobby, that I don't think is talked about enough, is it's bringing a lot of sports memorabilia pieces, whether that be the signed Bo Jackson helmet that I got for my son, signed jerseys, all sorts of different signed items, whether it be pop culture folks or sports figures at affordable prices. They're running them at auction. I remember historically thinking like, God, if I'm going to buy a signed helmet, it's going to be $1,000 or it's going to be $800. There was a lack of competition in the space, a lack of access to it. Pristine has really offered the ability to get into that stuff, including sports cards, at affordable prices. Don't forget to use the SCD promo code when you're checking out there at Pristine for $25 off your first auction victory. If you can sign with Pristine and you mention Sports Card Dad, you will get a special consignment deal. So also think about that when you're looking to sell items. With the announced slowdown over there at PSA, a lot of people are taking advantage of my code, the $25 off the first submission code, because a lot of times you might have to bump up to that $39.99 cost to get those cards back within 20 business days estimated. It's a much faster turnaround time depending on the card. And so $25 off, hey, it goes a long way. And that's a 1 card minimum. 1 card minimum to try out PSA. SCD25 promo code at the shipping and billing screen. All right, we're a little more than 90 days out from the National. I'm excited about this. I'm staying at an Airbnb with some of my buddies, and I didn't realize actually that there's a Red Lobster. And I haven't been to a Red Lobster I thought they went bankrupt. But we're going to have to hit up the Red Lobster while we're out there. It's just a place that I don't eat very often. My wife's Italian, and as you can imagine, she can cook. But seafood is stuff that we don't eat as much. And so that's something where it's like, you know what? Let's do some Red Lobster while we're out there at the National. It's going to be absolutely bananas out there. Now, one thing, this might be a little bit of a hot take. I am going to miss Cleveland's setup in one way. The one way that I'm really going to miss Cleveland's setup is the seating. There was some really good seating options out there, even like the food court there seating. Chicago, Rosemont, unless the guys have changed around the design of the floor plan and everything, very little seating unless you're sitting on the ground up against a wall or something. There's not a bunch of open chairs anywhere. It is like tables, a sea of tables. Now, to be fair, Cleveland, you can't really go anywhere. You can't leave there and then go and sit down at a restaurant that's right across the street. You can do that at Chicago, Rosemont. Literally restaurants like walking distance right out the front door of the convention center. So it's a perfect setup. Everybody loves Chicago, Rosemont, but the actual inside, being able to sit down anywhere, no. And let's face it, it's a lot of walking. It's basically Disney World for sports cards. You're just walking around, like zombie. I'm like a zombie out there. So many tables. And the thing that's really fun about the National, and this is kind of an underrated part of it. Yes, there is a ton of vintage cards. And yes, there is a ton of ultra-modern baseball or ultra-modern basketball or football or whatever it is. But there's also lots of little diamonds in the rough out there at the National. There will be non-sports cards that you don't see very much. There'll be one dealer that happens to have like some random non-sports card stuff. Speaking of non-sports, I know this is the Sports Collectors Convention. I am very, very curious, just given the heightened increase in demand for Pokemon cards, if it finds its way into this convention. Even though that it is pretty much a sports card convention, yes, you do have some non-sports stuff that's thrown in there, but will there be a lot more Pokemon that we see out there? I would be really shocked to not see more Pokemon than what we saw in Cleveland last year. I think that there's going to be a lot of it out there kind of sprinkled in. I don't think it's going to be like just Pokemon vendors everywhere, but I do think there's going to be that stuff sprinkled in with the sports card dealers. Absolutely. So why would you want to go out there if you've never been? Well, a big thing is it's not every day that you can get around 80, 100,000 people, like-minded people that are also into the same nerdy things that we're into, trading cards. And that's basically what the National represents. It's all the nerds in one spot. All the companies, all the major companies are there. Not even just the major companies, smaller, mid-sized companies. Most of the hobby companies are out there in some fashion. They either are set up there or they've got reps that are walking around. And a lot of times I'll meet with people, they're not necessarily set up, but they're there and we can text each other, DM, whatever, and like, hey, let's go grab lunch or let's go grab a drink or something. There's a lot of really great networking there. If you happen to be a content creator or you're thinking about becoming a sports card collectibles content creator, that's a way to kind of network with other content creators, get ideas, get feedback. It's great for that. Now, for me, there are content creators that I collaborate with throughout the year, but there's a lot of them that I don't get a chance to, and this is a way that I can see them. And even if it's for 5 minutes, just, hey, how's it going? How are you doing? How's life? You know, there's a lot of that. And not even just content creators, a lot of viewers. Shout out Michael Golden. See you out there here in a few months. A great opportunity to meet with viewers, get feedback from viewers. Some will give kind of tips on what they like, stuff that they don't like, or just, you know, hey, great to see you. What are you collecting these days? What are you looking for here? You know, so the idea that you can kind of be face to face with people that are watching these things. I literally have this set up on my iPhone. You throw this up every day. You throw it out into the universe and you see people view it. But then when you actually get to meet them in person, that's kind of a nice feeling. It's like, okay, there are real people out here that are watching the stuff. Now, you might be thinking, well, I'd love to go, but man, it's expensive to get out there. And it certainly is. You got travel, you got flights, you got hotel. Well, my buddy Flipping Steve, man, I'm still struggling, guys. I'm still struggling. I'm about 84% back from this flu. Flipping Steve, that's his channel name, he is doing his annual national giveaway. And coming up here, we'll talk about this a little bit more at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight on Off Centered. Make sure to check it out. But he's going to kind of explain how that giveaway works. But we'll be coming up on that here in the next, I would say we're probably going to be actioning that. It's a trivia contest that he sets up probably over the next 30 days or so. It's going to happen here pretty soon. So keep an eye on that. We'll talk more about that on Off Center at 9 p.m. Eastern. But he's giving away a trip that will basically help pay for a lot of these items. So you could be going to the National. Also, collectibles.com is going to be sponsoring the second place. Last year, I did a second place, $250 cards for each. There was 2 second place winners, and I bought 2 cards for the second place winners. This year, we've got collectibles.com that is chipping in on that for the National giveaway, the second place. So even if you don't win the trip to the National, second place, you might win a cool card worth a couple $100s. I say it's something you got to do once. Go to the National one time if it's within your budget. I know the economy, the global economy is weird right now. There's a lot of things that are kind of up in the air. If you're able to pull it off one time just to check out the National, there's no other sports card show that's quite like it. It is the Super Bowl for card shows in our space. Friends, let me know in the comment section, are you going to the National? When are you going? What are you most looking forward to? If you're not going to the National, why are you not going? Put it down in the comments, and we'll see you tonight on Off Centered, 9 p.m. Eastern. Stay healthy, stay awesome. I'll talk to you again later.